Hello guys, welcome back. It's Logical as always, and today is going to be like a little bit of like a rambling rant, so it is, and primarily because I don't script my stuff. So guys, if you enjoy, please like, share, and subscribe. You sort of get the general idea. But no, my general gripe today is more or less with the sort of the state of the meta and what the meta entails. Right. So as you can probably see in the background, I've refashioned one of my builds to be slightly more meta relevant. So that sounds disgusting coming out of my mouth because I'm purely an off meta person. So I am. But no, I tried out a few things from the meta, aka Dismounter seems to be super popular at the minute. Curved Greatswords in general are just super popular. Dual Straight Swords are always ridiculously powerful, so they are. What else? Dual Spears, I won't touch Dual Spears to save my life unless it's invasions. Halberds would be, I would consider more off meta than meta. Godskin Stitcher, you know what I mean, but it's more the armor set and play style is sort of where the meta relevance comes from, because obviously the big meta weapons is obviously Serpent Hunter, Dual Great Spears, stuff like that. You get the general idea. But I took a spin, so I did. Made myself a little bit more meta relevant. Put quotations over that, meta relevant. And I was using the dismounter, and I must admit, guys, now bearing in mind that I've covered every single one of these weapons, and the thing is a lot of the weapons that recently got buffed, well, not recently, in the last patch they got buffed, aka Curved Greatswords, gotta love it. They didn't need buffs. A lot of the stuff that got buffs didn't need buffs. And I'm not a fan of the meta because of what the meta entails, aka do straight swords, do spears, basically anything to win. Because if you actually break down the actual PvP demographic, which is kind of weird to say again, seems weird coming out of my mouth. If you kind of break down the PvP demographic, I would say the way that it's broken down is 70-20-10. Right, so 70% of the players are just PvEers. They're just playing the game to enjoy the game. They're doing challenge runs, bosses, stuff like that. It's where the majority of players is in the PvE category. And then as you move up that category, you'll get people that do PvP or just starting to PvP and learning it, stuff like that there. And then you hit the 20%, which is where I'm at. Now, I don't know where in that 20% even I would be. Fucking hell, for all I know, I could just be at the top of the 70%. I don't know. Um, but no, you start to see more build specific stuff coming in. So you do start seeing more prioritized builds and stuff like that there. Like, builds are designed to use a specific weapon and only that weapon, and that is whenever that there starts to kick in, so it is. And I'm happy in the wee bracket I'm in because it means you can actually have a level of fun with the game. But as it says, I demonstrated that whenever I went into this one here, so I did that I kind of just sort of turned off my emotions and I went with it and purely focused, hence the reason there's no live commentary on it, hence the reason I'm doing post commentary on this one, so and I discovered that I really am not a fan of meta, so I'm not. For as bizarre as that sounds, I'm really not a fan, guys. Like, I used the dismounter now, bearing in mind, I had used the dismounter fucking a year ago. And it was good then, and it's good now. But it's only better now simply due to the fact that, well, it got buffed. And it's the same, like, I never touched the fists whenever I never touched the fists whenever they got buffed. Purely because I fucking hated the buff. Fists were strong before, and they just made them stronger. Then they nerfed them, so I was happy about that. You didn't see fists anywhere near as much. Fucking glorious, so it was. But there's still a lot of things that they have to sort of fix. And a lot of the things is it's damage numbers. So it is as a like I'm sorry, dual straight swords are still fucking busted. I don't know what I know what makes them busted. It's the talismans that make dual straight swords busted and poise as well, but that's for a different argument. But no, the general idea is I find the higher tier metas to be or the higher tier meta to be very repetitive due to the fact that you only see the same things over and over and over again. Primarily it'll be halberd off stock or curved great sword dagger. You'll see a lot of these things, so well, as it's just mostly just dual wielding stuff. There's very little actual parrying goes on in the higher tiers. But at the same time, though, I always still look at it and I'm just like, but in my opinion, that's just boring. I took one spin at it. One spin, and that there's the footage you're seeing here. And I would easily, hands down, say I easily won about 90% of my games. And it's not due to the skill, it was due to the weapons. Well, probably a little bit of skill and understanding went into it as well. But the fact that I was able to have an easy 90% win rate is kind of brutal, so it is. Because if you hand, and I'm nearly sure that there's a lot of players like that there. I'll take, like, let's use an hour, right? Me's one example. I'll take an hour person into example, which is Streaks, which we, if you haven't seen the podcast, I'll stream with him a lot of time as well. If he went pure meta, why, there's going to be very little that's going to stop him. Like, let's just be purely honest. There's going to be very little that stops him. And the reason why it is because we hold back. And that there's the thing is, like, I took one wee swing at the mana, or the meta, and this is the result. Ah! If I went full blown and learned everything that the higher tiers know, I would just be an instant GG. It's the same as, like, if anybody wants to put the hard work and effort into the game, they can achieve the exact same level. But at that stage, you're simply just optimizing the fun out of the game. So you are, and that's the way that I see it. Because I know a lot of people, like Genji in the comments, would also be very, Genji would be a very meta relevant person, and he would keep me up to date on meta related stuff. But I do agree, even he has shown me some really scary things, and I'm incredibly happy that a lot of people don't know about it. But that's primarily because I don't take part in the fight clubs that do happen. So it is, I don't take part in the fight clubs because there's whenever I actually have to sit down. I'm more in it for the entertainment rather than the reputation, so to speak. So it's the entertainment factor for me, so it is. But no, all in all, like, I'm not a fan of the meta. I'll stick to being off meta. As says, I'm a big fan of using Giant Hunt, just stuff that's just naturally not used. So I am, because there's a lot of hidden gems in the game that people don't know about, and that's kind of what I like to do to find them. I'm more in it for the fun than the pure meta. I know this is a rant on the meta, but I just don't like the way that it is. Dual spears still do way too much damage. Dual great spears do too much damage. Dual straight swords do too much damage. Dual curved swords aren't too bad nowadays, but they can still pump out an awful lot of damage. It's just that rhythm of things, so it is. I'm just personally not a fan of it, and I do believe that those weapons need to be nerfed to a point where they become a little bit more fair to use. And I will still back on. I will not be backing down. Sorry, excuse me. I will not be backing down on the curved greatsword issue. I'm sorry, but curved greatswords now are just sheer broken. With the amount of range that they have is ridiculous. They never needed that kind of range in the first place. They're already strong. But no, even that there is a rambling rant, so it is. But yeah, all in all, guys, I'm just not a fan of the meta, and I will stick to being a off-meta Chad, so I will. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and guys, I shall see you all in the next video. Bye!